who are you and what does your company do?
Who am I? I am a leader that builds leaders that builds leaders. I'm Brandon J, and I own Brandon J Roofing out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Love it. Great answer. What was recruiting and building your sales team like before working with SRU?
Man, it was three steps forward, two steps backwards. It was a lot of spinning the wheels, and working with SRU, working with you guys, it has truly simplified it. And now within that return, I have, you can get the people in the door, but I have to have my house in order and have an attractive comp plan and have even a more attractive culture to keep the high quality people that I want to keep.
Yeah. Which is,
But you guys have just simplified it for sure.
yeah. And you do, which is why you're freaking crushing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You have above average results by far, but let's talk about that. Like a few of the things that we were talking about before we started the recording. I think you mentioned you got about 17 reps, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Half of them over the last whatever 6 months or however long it's been have come through from SRU.
Yeah. And I would say I think we've been working with each other a little over a year now,
Okay.
and half our reps right now are from SRU.
Yeah. And then the top guy came from SRU or through the process. How much did
Yeah.
he produce last month?
Last month he produced 620,000. It was 620,000 and some change. Yeah, for 1 month.
Yeah. You're the man, dude. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And we were talking about this year, you know, kind of the impact of the recruiting process that we run, what kind of impact that's going to have from a revenue perspective. What was that number?
So it should be right at about 15 million this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Man, I wish we could.
From strictly from our team that SRU brought in.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a G. I love it. I love it. And so have you learned and like implemented anything new? Like, was it the group interview process that was the core change or,
Oh
what?
man, yeah. So many, like that's all we did in the past 9 months was implement
Yeah.
systems, processes, SOPs to scale, went
Yeah.
all digital, everything.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, really is dialing in exactly what we're looking for and exactly what we're not looking for.
Yeah.
I always say it's like, and I've been guilty of it myself. Like you can have a really freaking high tolerance and a culture that's mediocre at best, or a very low tolerance and a culture of exception.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we have extremely low tolerances, and it's just I used to think at the very beginning, like because people would like, why do you care what I'm doing in my personal life? Why do you care if I drink 4 days a week or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And think that you're being unreasonable. You're expecting too much. And I would question myself early on, and it wasn't I was expecting too much. I was just looking for it in the wrong people.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I can't wait to just a side note for anybody that watches this in about 6 weeks. I'm going to do a podcast interview with Brandon and dive into a lot of these details because I know people are going to be like, how did scale add 15 million bucks in revenue? Recruiting is just a part of that. His leadership and onboarding and all these other things are as much or even more of a part of that. So can't wait to learn more. What were there any initial concerns you had before working with SR? It's been about a year, so maybe you forget, but
Oh yeah, no, I definitely had concerns because every recruiting company I worked with was a complete waste of freaking time. I
yeah,
might as well throwing 15, 20, 30 grand out the window.
yeah,
And so I was definitely skeptical. And like we do have high standards. We're the number one in our market in residential,
mm,
and out of 1,400 plus companies. And so like our standards are high. And at the very beginning, I remember. So at the very beginning, bringing in, it was like I forget how many people showed up. It was a lot, which was awesome. It was cool to be able to get all those people in the room. But I had a lot of people there that I really wouldn't have even had a conversation with.
Yeah.
And so, and I got with your team, and it's like, okay, I'm not really so much concerned with numbers and quantity. I'd rather have quality.
Yeah.
And so we dialed in a lot of things like, well, it's not going to be as many people. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
And so the room went from like 25 to 30 to like half.
Hmm.
And, but it like there was be, half of those people would be prime candidates,
Yeah.
so, and you guys worked with me and dialed it in like immediately.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Love it. What has exceeded your expectations since working with us?
Um, I guess just the consistency of good quality,
Yeah.
that would be definitely a thing. Yeah, the consistency and constantly being able to get people to come in, it's like, because they and it's good quality people, and I think that has to do like with whoever you're working with, them being specific about what needs and like, what do I need? What
Yeah.
exactly, what does my avatar look like?
Yeah.
Am I looking for somebody who's trying to make 100 grand a year, or am I looking for somebody that's trying to make 300 grand a year?
Yeah.
Or, that's, am I bringing people in that are aware, like, this is an all in type of thing? It's a big commitment. Yeah, it's big money, but it's a big commitment. And
Yeah.
just being specific, like with the needs of what we're looking for in our recruits, is a big deal.
100%. Totally agree with you. What would you say to anybody considering to work with SRU?
Um, that what I just said, being specific on what you need for the recruits, and like making sure, having your house in order, like having your systems in play before you turn on this funnel,
Yeah.
having your systems in play of exactly how, like, what's that training process look like? What's that onboarding process looking like?
Yeah.
Because when that funnel turns on, it's going to fill up.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those systems in play, then you're going to lose people in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, I mean, like I said, I've worked with multiple other recruiting companies, and it was just a nightmare. And so I'm sure a lot of people that might be listening to this might probably have had that same experience.
Yeah.
So it's just different with these guys. Like, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not anything. It's like, if you turn the funnel on, they're gonna. If you build it, they will come. Just make sure you have the systems in play for it.
Yeah. Love it. Thanks, Brandon. And just one note for
All
anybody
right.
watching that, one of the additions to our service, which Brandon is plugged into, kind of a side thing that we do as a part of the service, is we help you develop all those things so you can actually retain reps, resulting into sales production. So, my friend, thank you so much for your time today.
No doubt. Thank you. I appreciate you.